You're watching the Sporting Time Show with host Doug Thompson. Sponsored by Jewelry Barn and Pawn Shop.
Good evening and welcome into the Sporting Time Show. I'm your host, Doug Thompson, and of course, Allie Hendard is in for Taryn Johnson, and it is great to see you, Allie, as always.
I love being here, and I'm glad to be back.
And of course, you've been busy. I mean, just because you're not here doesn't mean that you're not out there making things happen.
Right, there's a lot of stories in Bowling Green.
That's right.
And a lot of things we're working on now, especially right now with the hot rods.
Yeah, you've got a great package that we're going to see in the fourth segment about the hot rods. A lot going on. You know, first of all, I think summer's here. I mean, 90 degrees today, that's hot.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
It's crazy. We go from sweater weather last week to 90 degrees today.
It's Kentucky, I mean.
But it parallels high school baseball and softball because we've got some interesting scenarios. Even though district games are completed, we do have some interesting scenarios coming up in district play. We also have a couple of really great shows lined up in the next couple of weeks. Of course, we'll have a package that you're going to produce in 2 weeks. We also are going to have our district baseball and softball show next week. And then after that, we will have the Toyota of Bowling Green Scholar Athlete Show. First time ever. We're going to devote the entire show to 11 student athletes who will receive a 2020-21 Toyota scholarship. It's a one-time $500 scholarship, right?
So they've done so much just for, you know, the city of Bowling Green and Warren County in general. I mean, just helping those athletes.
Yeah, and
honoring them.
Yeah, and what I love about it, and it's been going on since I believe 2012, 2011, but 88,000 worth of scholarships have been contributed by Toyota Bowling Green to county and city school student athletes. But you know, every year at the end of May we get together, and each of the student athletes receive a $500 check made out to them that they can use for whatever they need. And that's what I really like about this scholarship, is that if it's an iPad, if it's a laptop or whatever it might be, you know, it's up to them to use it as they feel they need to. So it's great.
And I'm sure just especially, you know, if they're juniors or seniors, they're thinking about college and thinking about what they're going to need. So anything like that helps them, you know.
Well, they got to be seniors. You can't be junior. You got to be a senior. And so next week, 2 weeks, tune in for that, because we will have their profile. We'll have information on each of the 11 student athletes. We have gotten so many nominations, Allie, over the past several years, but you can go to stfanclub.com/Toyota and you can nominate a student athlete, and we will reveal in 2 weeks our May and June student athlete, Toyota Student Scholar Athlete of the Month. So that'll be a lot of fun. So,
I wouldn't want to be the one making that decision.
You know, we have nominations from Elizabethtown. We had a Bethlehem student athlete receive it one year. We've had from all over, even from Tennessee, and Tennessee is not part of, you know, it might be, but not right now. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And then today we've got a very special guest on the show, Todd Stewart, who is retiring from Warren Central, and after 36 years at one school, right? I mean, that's amazing.
3 decades, you think, you know, almost 4.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of time and energy and, you know, love that he's put into his career, it's just amazing to be there, one school for 36 years.
Well, exactly. I mean, dedication, passion, and it's going to be a very interesting interview to talk to him, because Todd has been able to, like you said, span 3 generations. A lot has happened in 36 years. You know, social media explosion. I mean, just more sports have been added. But, you know, at the end of the day, he is so well respected in the state, in the region.
Beloved by so many.
Exactly, and he will be dearly missed. But I'm sure he will enjoy his retirement. But so we're going to talk to him when we come back from our break. And then you and I get to talk about the hot rods and some other things. So anyway, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, more of the Sporting Times right here on WNKY NBC 40. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. My guest today has dedicated his life, his career, to education and coaching. He is exactly the kind of teacher that you would like your son or daughter to be taught by, and he is exactly the kind of coach you would like your son or daughter to play for. After 36 years, he is retiring from Warren Central High School. My guest today is Todd Stewart. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Doug. I'm really looking forward to retirement, and appreciate you having me on.
You know, we had always referred to Glasgow's coach, Sam Royce, as the Godfather, because I think he's been at Glasgow about the same time, but you actually are the Warren County Godfather. You've been around for 36 years, and what an amazing career you've had at Warren Central.
Well, thank you. You know, it's funny when you know, you start this, you think one of the things that coaches will do a lot is move around.
Yeah.
And I have been very fortunate to stay in one place, a place that I love, a place I care about, a place I think we have great students. Been able to stay here all my entire career, so that's been a blessing. Yeah. And I don't know if I've been here longer than a lot of the other coaches, but it does seem like I've been here a long time.
So I want to take you back after well, when you were in college. Why coaching, or not coaching, but why teaching? What was it? Was there someone who inspired you to go into education? What was the story behind that?
I really had some great teachers. Went to a little county school in Logan County called Olmsted. And I had some really, really amazing teachers that kind of led me in that direction. And I wanted to work with young people. I was very interested in basketball. That was my sport. I wanted to coach basketball. And so I went that direction. When I had the opportunity to, I actually had the opportunity one quick year to work for Gerald Sinclair at Logan County. I did my student teaching there under Barry Reed, who was an assistant coach. I had 1 year to work with the state championship Logan County team. And then, but I was just student teaching and substitute teaching. And this job came open at Warren Central, which was actually Curtis Turley's teaching job.
Oh, okay.
And so I started here as assistant basketball, boys basketball, at that time under Mike Flynn, and assistant girls softball under Gail Spurlock.
Yeah. I know that you told me several years ago that you thought coaching, you know, was demanding, and it is demanding, but when you took the athletic director's position, you said it was a totally different ball game because you had to be everywhere.
It's a house. You know, I feel for athletic directors because it just seems like the job gets more demanding. Yeah. We add sports, we add rules and regulations. I cannot imagine, you know, Jason Esters is our athletic director. I think he was 4th Region Athletic Director of the Year.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being athletic director through COVID and all of the things that they had to take precautions for. It's just, it's an amazing, I love the job, but it was so demanding as far as time away from home, time away, you know, just it seemed like you got in bed and 15 minutes later you were getting up to go back to work. So it is a very demanding job. Athletic directors don't get enough. They don't get enough praise. I'll put it that way.
Well, and you know, we're going to take a short break, but before we go to that, when we come back, I want to ask you, over a 36-year span, you've had the opportunity to see so many changes in technology, like you said, in sports, in regulations. I want to ask you about that, and I also want to ask you to reflect back to the first day that you walked into a classroom and you taught a class, what the feelings were like on that. So hang tight. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, more with Todd Stewart right here on the Sporting Time Show, WNKY, NBC 40. Welcome back again, my guest, Todd Stewart, retiring after 36 fantastic years at Warren Central High School. Coach, I had teased a little bit as far as you remembering going back the first day that you walked into a classroom to teach. Was it everything that you thought it would be?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. That's a long time to remember back, but I do remember my first year. Like anything else, you learn on the job. You learn, how to handle kids and how to interact with kids, I think is the most important thing. We've got different roles in the classroom. I facilitate and lead, but, students, they want to learn and it takes you a while. It takes a while to get used to okay, what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
You might want to go in and be a dictator, but at the same time, when kids understand, it's an old saying and it's been overused probably, but when they know you care, they care what you know.
Yeah, very, very true. And, I want to ask you about that. Of course, 36 years, you've seen a lot of changes, the increase in athletics, the increase in a lot of different things out there. Would you, but are the kids pretty much the same as far as, when you started as they are today? I think there might be more pressure on kids today maybe than there were 36 years ago. I'm not sure, but what differences do you see, if any?
Yeah, a lot more distractions.
Yeah.
A lot more distractions with all the technology. I would say we don't have very many problems, but the problems we do have probably stem from technology more than anything else because, and this is anybody, it's not just kids, but I think people are more willing to put things on social media than they are to say to each other. So,
Yeah.
There's a lot more distractions for these kids. With certain kids who may come from poverty-stricken homes, they have to work and we deal with more of that kind of thing today than we did. But yeah, I think basically kids are the same. They want structure, they want to learn. We've got a great bunch here that and we're probably the most diverse high school in the area.
Yep.
And we think that is a positive, and we know that's a positive. So, yeah, I'm very proud of what we've been able to accomplish here.
We have a couple of minutes left, Coach. I want to ask you,
Okay.
one, from a coaching perspective, you've touched the lives of so many kids, thousands of kids over a 36-year span. Are there a couple of times that really stand out in your mind that from a coaching standpoint?
Well, being able to be part of as a coach, 5 regional championships, 2 as assistant boys basketball coach, 3 as head softball coach. That was very special. Having Miss Softball, coach Miss Softball, and have a Miss Basketball runner-up. see players go on and play at the collegiate level is special. Also, I think this is, as my tenure as AD, you know, I don't always make the best choices, but I really feel like I made some good choices for head coaches. Was able to hire William Unseld after Coach Riley left, and AJ Ray in soccer, who has done a tremendous job. I was able to bring in Mike Rogers for football.
Great hires.
And Chris Dunson also, who's now a principal in our district. I hired him as girls basketball and track coach. So I'm very proud of the people that I brought in also to work with our kids.
Coach, we've got about 30 seconds. Real quick, what are you going to do in retirement? Are you a fisherman, a golfer, a reader? What are you going to do?
I'm a bad golfer, but I do have a grandbaby now. I have a grandson. He'll be 2 here in a couple months, so that's going to be fun to try to run around and keep up with him. You know, and maybe travel a little bit. I've been able to do some traveling, but I'd like to do a little bit more.
Coach, thank you very much for spending some time with us. Congratulations on a great 36 years and all of your support. We've got to run now, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Allie and I will wrap things up right here on the Sporting Time Show, WNKY, NBC 40. Welcome back, Doug Thompson, Allie Henard here. Happy Saturday to everybody. You know, we talked so much in the first segment. Let's kind of talk briefly about softball, baseball. There are some interesting scenarios in softball. Of course, we've got the #1 team in the state with South Warren.
Right.
1 loss on the year. They are very, very good. But in the 13th district, I think it's safe to say that Franklin, Simpson, Logan County certainly have the power to get them to the 4th region. Here's where it might be a little interesting. South Warren, right, #1 in the state.
No brainer, right?
But what about the other team that might advance?
See, I'm thinking, other than South Warren, you got to look at Greenwood and Warren East.
Yeah.
I think Greenwood has what it takes.
Well, you just gave Warren East some big-time bulletin board material. Thanks, Allie. Well, they both you know had 1 win against each other. One 3-0, the other one 3-0, right? But we, you know, so we'll see. You're right, but that's a question mark. In the 15th, Barron County ACS certainly have the edge, and then the 16th district, Russell County and Metcalfe County, I think are way out. There's a lot of separation from a lot of these teams, right? Than in other teams in the district. In baseball, it's the same kind of thing. I mean, Bowling Green certainly is on fire. They are 25-4, top 6 team in the state. They got pitching.
3-game win streak right now, but so is Russell County.
Yeah, Russell County, great team. Russell County is a fantastic team, solid pitching. They have a 2.35 ERA. They got it going. But, you know, Greenwood has had 3 straight wins. They had a big win over Glasgow last week. You know, their batting is strong. Pitching, you know, if they tighten it up just a little bit. But I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, I had my little, look at this. I got all these scratch pads here. But, you know, it's going to be, I think, Warren East, South Warren in district, Greenwood, and Warren Central. And the winner of that will play Bowling Green.
Right.
It's going to be very exciting. I mean, I love the unknown.
I do too. That's my favorite part about it. I mean, especially because it's so neck and neck with, you know, those 2nd and 3rd teams. Yeah. You never know. Yeah,
it's amazing. Now, we are going to see your special presentation on the Bowling Green Hot Rods, who absolutely made the biggest cut that you would want to make. So I can't wait to see it. We're going to take a short break. And here we go as Allie Henard presents her special on the Bowling Green Hot Rods.
614 days without Hot Rods baseball.
Minor League Baseball is back. The Bowling Green Hot Rods kicked off their season with a series win over Greenville. But with a new season comes new changes.
As a part of the sweeping cut, Major League Baseball cut ties with 43 minor league baseball teams going into this season. Teams from markets much larger than Bowling Green, including Lexington, Kentucky, and Staten Island. Leach says their ability to maintain this team, though, came down to local support.
So with MLB taking over minor league baseball, it's kind of historic for us. We're very grateful that we made the cut as 42 teams were eliminated. And with that comes a 10-year agreement with the Major League Baseball to be the Rays High A affiliate.
As a part of the 10-year agreement, Major League Baseball is upgrading the Hot Rods facility as far as player enhancements.
Hopefully in the offseason, fans are going to see a lot of changes around the ballpark, but mainly it's all going to be player-oriented. So bigger clubhouses, second hitting tunnel, expanded weight room. One thing that they will definitely notice is an all-new lighting system. So we're going to be installing LED lights for the players to have better views of the baseball.
Hot Rods owner Jack Blackstock said the Rays liked the facility and they liked the city, moving the Hot Rods up to High A baseball.
So our fans are going to see a higher level. We're going to have more prospects coming through here. And just that upgrade to the next level is a significant change. And it really sets us on the precipice of possibly eventually at the end of 10 years, maybe even rising up to AA, which in my opinion is one of the best brands of baseball in minor leagues around.
The Hot Rods have a strong relationship with their major league affiliate, the Tampa Bay Rays, and their future is promising.
As Major League Baseball potentially expands, who knows where the horizon is. We've been with the Rays ever since 2009, and with the new 10-year agreement, they're fantastic to work with. And the best part about working with the Rays is they have the #1 minor league system as far as player development. So we constantly see a lot of future major leaguers come through these doors.
Renovations of the ballpark will also include expanded training areas for players, new stadium lights, locker room improvements, and even dugout flooring.
Once it's done in the offseason, fans will, and like Little League teams, will be able to rent out the hitting tunnels in the facility and utilize some of the same things that the Hot Rods players get to.
A final price for the improvements is not yet known, but the improvements must be done by the end of 2022. Reporting for the Sporting Times at Bowling Green Ballpark, I'm Allie Hennard.
Eric Leach, great leadership, support the Bowling Green Hot Rods. What a great family value. For Doug Thompson, Allie Hennard, have a fantastic week. Good night.